Uber won the reunion and BravoCon to me. Watch what she said at BravoCon.
We just had the reunion, Uba, and I know you wanted to clear this up. So I just want to know, what did you mean when you told Jenna at the reunion to not confuse being assertive with being angry?
Let's hope Bryn is not going to interfere me or interrupt.
Damn.
So here's the thing. I really want to clarify something because I've seen on the internet people say that I'm hating on Jenna, how we didn't know this, she didn't like Jenna, all these things. First of all, I've learned not to watch 4 episodes before the reunion at 2 in the morning on a Fashion Week month. I'm never doing that again. So I saw Jenna said between me and Aaron argument that she had seen a taste of my uber heart or anger, whatever it is, a little taste of it at her house. So what I was trying to tell Jenna, at your house, I was assertive. In Anguilla, I was angry. You cannot use that incident to give weight or justify of what me and Aaron argue in Anguilla. Something that she wasn't around. She was in her room the whole day. She didn't know what was happening. That's what I meant. But somebody interrupted, and I didn't finish my sentence. So that's what I meant.
Hey y'all, it's your captain for all things creative, coming back at you with the Real Housewives of New York reunion part 2 recap, and also a little look at BravoCon 2023 and RHONY's role in it. If you're new to this channel, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're returning, welcome back. We had a little break, but let's get into BravoCon first, since we had a clip in the intro showing what Uba had to say. And in terms of the RHONY group, they took home the first ever Bravo Award for Rookies of the Year. And they beat out people like the Summer House Martha's Vineyard crew and the New Jersey newbies. So kudos to them. At BravoCon, we also had Jenna missing in action. But Sai was shucking those ninjas that you see in her commercials on Bravo. And Bryn broke the escalator there. You could see a picture of her Louboutins being stuck in there. So it was a fun showing for the RHONY cast. And Uba really made the biggest impression for me by, explaining herself and holding her own at BravoCon and of course at the reunion part 2. So she's my queen for part 2. And in the reunion, she tried to explain, the difference between being assertive versus being aggressive or angry. And it's an important distinction to make that a lot of people don't understand, because being assertive is great, and a lot of people can't handle a woman like Uba, since women have been socialized to not be assertive, but instead to apologize and acquiesce and only show a pleasant face and minimizing, their feelings. And instead of doing all that, Uba makes her boundaries known. And it's unfortunate, that Bryn was trying to, overtalk her and minimize her, but I think that Uba was fabulous, and she was also my best dress, since I didn't talk about reunion fashion, so I'll mix that in, with the rest of the review. Another important thing that Uba does at the reunion is she stands up for Jessel when the girls, especially Sai and Jenna, were kind of talking about her trying to relate to Sai, telling the story of her uncle. And Jessel basically brings up the importance of uncles and aunts in her culture. And I think in a lot of cultures, uncles and aunts step in and are very much a beloved, part of the family. So it's not like Jessel hurt any less when her uncle, was lost to alcoholism. So I thought that was kind of like insensitive for the girls to kind of minimize that as well. And in terms of, you know, who was more annoying between Sai and Aaron at the reunion. I think Sai was better dressed, and she annoyed me less because in the midst of all the talk about um the parents versus the aunts and uncles and all that stuff. Sai did clarify, her pain really, and like the source of her anger. One being just hangry in general because she said she's a pescatarian and she lifts weights, so she's hungry all the time. But most importantly, she talks about how losing her mom affected her, and her mom had passed away 5 months prior to filming, and leading up to when she passed. Apparently, Sai said she had been living with them, and her mom still abused alcohol under her roof and acted out in front of her children to the point that her husband and her decided that, it was best to make her mom leave because she was making, I guess, the environment not as peaceful. And then she died, shortly after. So the really made me understand Sai more. Erin even less, and I did not like her reunion dress. I thought like it wasn't really appropriate for a reunion. It looked more like a picnic or cocktail party dress. I thought she should have did way more, for the reunion. But between her and Sai, she seemed to do the most backpedaling, and it's like she was obsessed with showing herself as like the innocent one, and she held on to her argument about Jessel growing up privileged. And Andy even had to call her out. Was like, "Why is this a competition to you? Why does it matter? How well off she grew up or not in terms of Jessel?" And Sai even had to step in and just like apologize and squash it. Saying that they were just over obsessed. But Erin, she seems to be wanting to paint herself as more innocent, but she forgot that the cameras captured all of her shenanigans, so she did not come off very well in the reunion in terms of backpedaling. Bryn also did not come off well in the second part. She really annoyed me when it came to interrupting Uba. And as you saw in the clip in the intro, Uba even addressed it. And the comments about her not being afraid of Uba were really tone deaf, especially in the light of, the angry black woman and like, the stereotypes about people of color like boogeymen. She's talking about, I'm not afraid of you. It's like, why should anybody be afraid of it, anybody like that, And then the stuff she was saying about being black and Irish, like it's a flex over and against Uba's African background. It was too much. So she got on my nerves a lot with interrupting Uba. But I did like how she stood up for Jessel about the other girls getting, in her business and her marriage. Her reunion look was okay. I think it was better than Erin's. It made me think like maybe it was an homage to her grandmother. It was like old school. I don't know if it was like one of her grandma's dress or something. But Bryn, she got to learn to pick and choose her battles way more wisely because she did not have to jump in on Uber's conversations like that. I did not like that. Um, Jessel, she had my heart this reunion again because she had to really defend her marriage and call out, especially Aaron and Sai, for disrespecting her marriage. They also lied about Jessel not telling them about what she had been through with her body and feelings postpartum. And I'm glad production had the flashbacks to show that she did, tell them about, being insecure about her body and going through IVF and all that stuff. And she maintains in front of the lying ladies that, she did tell them about her, insecurities, but then Aaron and Sai said that she didn't go into the level of details that she did in her confessional, but they were just making excuses for their behavior, and Jessica kind of fell for it and kind of was like, "Well, I didn't know what you guys were saying behind my back," and she ended up apologizing to them, which Bryn, thankfully stopped her. I was like, nah, don't apologize. They were violating know your marriage. And Jenna wasn't really saying much this reunion. Andy did ask her a couple times to weigh in on different situations, like the Sai's mother versus Jessel's uncle situation. And Jenna took kind of side saying that, well, the mother was more important than the uncle. Not to say that Jessel didn't feel sad, but Jenna also talks about the cackling hag comment and saying that her dad was British and she heard her dad say cackling hags before, so she used it herself and she didn't mind when Jessel reused it. And then in terms of like the lingerie green ugly dress gate, Jenna said that she appreciated Sai and the girls for standing up for her when it came to Jessel's negative reaction. And it was nice for her to feel like she had a sister slash friend sticking up for her. And I was glad that she asked Uba to revisit her earlier comments about the girls, not wanting her on the show previously, because I was upset when Andy, changed the subject on Uba because his questions were lame than all of Uba's, you know, insertions. And a lot of times he does let housewives, take things where they need to go naturally, like Monique's binder, for example, right? But he kept cutting off Uba, and he needs to stop that because his hosting is not where it should be a lot of the times, especially where it comes to like women of color. He needs to be a little bit more respectful and let them get their feelings out more. So I was glad when Jenna asked Uba to revisit, that comment about, what does she mean by saying that the girls don't want her on the show? And Sai fesses up that she was the one who made the comment about not thinking that Jenna would fit in with the girls before she met her, but she apologized for that. But at the end of the day, um, it was a big apology tour for Sai and Aaron. I think Jenna was the least best dressed. I mean, the outfit with the jeans and the suit, I guess it's on brand for her, but it's a reunion, so I think she definitely should have dressed a lot fancier. And even if she wanted to keep the suit, she should at least had slacks because denim is not comfortable to sit in for hours and hours. Period. So I'm sure she was uncomfortable and you filmed for hours. So hopefully she learned her lesson. Kind of don't think Jenna's coming back, especially because she didn't go to BravoCon. She's been making these interview statements about not wanting RHONY to be her legacy, and she does have an illustrious fashion legacy. So I don't blame her. If she doesn't want to continue filming, but I think she is the name of the show. But if Bravo can bring somebody who's willing to, get more in the fray, it would be a way more successful next season with these girls. But I think they had a pretty good season. But I'm all into Potomac and Miami and Beverly Hills, Married to Medicine all coming back. So let's hope that they come with a better showing next time. And yeah, it was fun seeing them. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Say what you thought about the season in the comments. And remember, you're the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Goodbye.